Hi guys, it's Nicole, and I am so excited today to kick off Volume 4 for Creating with Collections. As a reminder, Miss Sara Scraps herself is playing along today. Well, not today. She's playing along for the whole series. So we both kind of have our own set of supplies from the Cocoa Vanilla Storyteller line. The funny thing is that her base kit and my base kit were pretty similar, where like she bought the puffy stickers, I didn't, and she intentionally bought two of the sticker sheets and I accidentally bought two of the sticker sheets. So I thought that was kind of funny. I had to pause her video a couple times and go leave her a comment. I love any chance that I can kind of get to collaborate with other content creators on here and just kind of have that back and forth sort of inspiration thing going on, especially if you have been like lacking in mojo and that kind of thing. And I know a lot of you have told me that you're excited for this series, one for the collection, creating with collections aspect of it, and then in today's instance, I'm also playing along with Allison Davis's 4x6 sketch class. So I know a lot of people are really excited about that and seeing sort of the different interpretations of her sketch. So when I originally signed up for Allison's class and I was looking, this was back when like Storyteller was first announced, and I was like, ooh, every time Cocoa Vanilla has kind of come out with stuff, I've always been drawn to it, but sort of never pulled the trigger and ordered any of it. And this time I did, and I kind of felt like, okay, if I'm gonna order it, I need to make sure that I use it and I need to sort of really use it. So that was when I was deciding and kind of having like a full-on argument with myself about starting volume 4 and using this collection with it, even though I wouldn't say that volume 3 is necessarily done. I definitely want to try to see if I can kind of eke out some more layouts with it. And creative wise and paper wise, yes, I can. It's whether or not I'm sort of in the mood for the photos that would go with that type of line. Right now, I'm really kind of wanting to work through, what is this, our family photos from last year, so 2021. I kind of want to work through these and just get them done because they're typically pretty quick. Typically, the only ones that I journal on are, I'll do like a spread for the photos of just my son and then another one of just my daughter, and then I tend to kind of just do more in-depth journaling about where their personalities are at that age and kind of just things that stand out to me. Stuff like this where it's just, me and my husband year after year. I just kind of, I don't know. I'm not one to kind of get mushy about us or anything like that. Usually I'll just kind of, slap a title on there, remind myself how many years it's been, and kind of move on. To me, this is just a creative outlet to showcase these photos. Normally, you guys know that my sort of triangle that I try to hit is going to be photos, title, and journaling. Today, it's going to be more like photos, title, and use as many embellishments and stickers as I possibly can because it's a kill kit. Even though it's a kill kit with the intent to use the paper up as well, guaranteed I have a feeling that volume 4 is going to be a lot like volume 3, where I'm going to run into an issue where I'm going to have a lot of paper left over before I get through like the die cuts. And now I'm understanding why Sara bought like 2 packs of the die cuts and stuff. But she mentioned that one of the older Tracy Reed like print and cut or like digital collections is the same theme and color. It's just kind of a little bit different, like icons and stuff. I kind of feel like if I get 2/3 of the way through this and I'm still enjoying it, I'm still liking the papers, I might kind of cheat and maybe go buy like the cut apart, I think she calls them stickers, so probably like the stickers and maybe journaling cards. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens as I get through all of this stuff. And then I'm doing my voiceover. I think this goes up Monday. Anyway, I feel like I am mostly excited to just get this video edited, get everything out, because I want to watch Sarah's video and I want to see what she made, because our styles are completely different. I know she mentioned in her video like a heavy emphasis on double page layouts for me, even though the last few months, like if you're new to my channel and you came from Sarah's channel, probably the last, I don't know, 6 months, I've done a lot of single page layouts, but I tend to have my photos dictate how much landscape I want to use, because I start to feel twitchy when I think about how many albums I could potentially be storing, you know, in that way off point in time where somebody like me actually gets caught up, because that's never going to happen. Anyways, lately I've been doing a lot of single page layouts. The last couple weeks I think I've done mostly double page layouts. So I wouldn't say that my channel is sort of where you go for double page layouts. I would say averaging my channel out, I'm probably 50-50. And most of the time, if I'm doing a double page layout, it is more than likely going to be following a sketch. More than likely it will be a scrapbook generation style sketch, because they work best for me as far as things like photo placements, and then sort of taking the guesswork out of balancing different things. I like either following their sketches to a T, like everything where it's at, or I'll kind of get started and then like the sketch is off to my left in the top left over here. Sometimes I will start the layout, I'll get some of the basics down, and then I kind of go my own way based on what my supplies and kind of what my brain is telling me. So as far as my layout today, I printed my photos with an accidental chunky white border and I'm going with it. I did put the 2 horizontal photos onto a vellum mat, and then because it's vellum, I still want it to have its own sort of presence, so the edges with some white paint. I then decided that I was going to go ahead and add some stitching. Even though she depicts stitching on the sketches, I don't always do it. So like this is sketch number 2. I already forgot what number 1 looked like. Oh no, guys. I know I did number 1 and I shared it with you and I already forgot it. Okay, anyways, I did number 1. Pretty convinced I stitched on it. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back and look. And I stitched on sketch number 6, which you guys have also already seen, because I paired that with a cut to you file and their schedule timeline. I stitched on this one being number 2, but like I also finished number 3 last night, and while I really wanted to stitch on it, that one went in like a die cut heavy route and I was kind of just tired and I didn't want to stitch. It would have looked so cute if I had, but at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? It's better to just sort of be done, especially because number 3, I went back into my zoo trip and big trips kind of overwhelm me in general, and I felt like it was better to just be done. But we'll talk about that when I get to number 3. So for my stitching, I know Allison she's got a couple videos, she's got blog posts, she has talked about this a lot. I do mine a little bit differently. I tend to stitch on my layouts similarly to how I cross stitch. So I use the same size needles that I cross stitch with. I do 1 strand of floss, I fold it over and I anchor it with the loop method. I tape the end down with some regular Scotch tape because I find that that's what works for me. And I've done a couple like full size cross stitch projects where it's like edge to edge, so almost like diamond painting, but it's cross stitch. And between the 3 finished projects that I have a lot of leftover embroidery floss, so I just use the leftovers and I find the best possible match of color that I can. I don't really go like shopping at an actual store to try to match floss to my pattern paper. I don't have it in me to do it. I use my leftovers. As far as my embellishing with this, if you guys are in the class and you have the sketch, you know that there was like a repeated icon kind of going up and down 2 of the strips. I chose to kind of just do my own thing there, and instead I filled it in with die cuts. Oh, okay, guys, I might have to do a separate video on this. You guys know how I like my stacked tiny hearts from Lawn Fawn. I bought this, I think it's oh, it already went off the screen. It's like a mandala maker from Altenew. I will link it. I will find this thing and I will link it. Anyways, it has 7 sets of hearts. 7 times 4 in one pass. And when I say tiny, I mean there's teeny, teeny, tiny, teeny, tiny, tiny, and up from there. And they're so dang cute. And it's so much faster than Lawn Fawn hearts, but don't get me wrong, I like the shape of the Lawn Fawn ones. But these are fine. The speed of this alone, like my kids are back in school. We're at 2 different schools. We had a rough go with the middle school pickup situation, so I spent a lot of time downstairs, like literally just back and forth in my car, and I brought these downstairs with white cardstock, and I cut a bunch of hearts. And at this point, I already forgot what I interrupted myself with to talk about hearts, so that's fun for me. Somebody remind me in the comments. Leave me a comment if whatever I was chattering about mattered to you, and I'll try to come back. You guys, I swear, voiceovers are hard, especially like when you've had a mentally taxing week. So anyways, my little tiny hearts, I do 3 layers of a white cardstock. A lot of times it's the scraps from my journaling strips, and then I will take sort of those teeny tiny scraps of paper and cut the top layer and make kind of like my own little, I wouldn't call them chipboard pieces because they're still thinner than chipboard, and I don't really like chipboard, but these, I don't know, there's just something about them. Oh, I remember. Anyways, my die cut placement, which we're about to see my finished layout here in a second. So her sketch had sort of like this repeating icon as kind of part of the background element. I just kind of decided to go through the die cuts and pick things that I liked. I found the 3 cameras. Cameras aren't really my favorite thing. I found that little 3x4 card with the cameras on it, and I was like, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to line the cameras up. We're going to fill in some of the gaps with flowers, but I'm going to line up the colors with the colors on the stripe. So like that stripe starts with the pink and goes all the way down to the dark blue. So where I placed my die cuts along both sides, the colors of the die cut pieces and stickers lines up with the colors on the rainbow stripe, because that makes my brain happy. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys here. I'm sorry that I rambled, but again, I'm really excited to get this done and go and watch Sarah's video because I really want to know what she did with her first layout. Check the description box below, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!